Hi guys, so today I'm going to be talking about the books coming out in May that I am most excited about, and there are heaps this month. There are so many books coming out that are really exciting. The first one kind of doesn't count as a new book because it is just like a new cover, like a new edition that's being released, but I thought it was so cool and I was so excited when I saw this, and it makes me want like a whole graphic novel based around the art on this cover because that would be amazing. But it is a new version of Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, which is a YA fantasy book. It's really amazing. If you haven't read it, it's about kids at a magic school and one of them might be a vampire, they suspect, and the rest of them are magicians, and it's really amazing and like a really sweet, like almost contemporary story in fantasy style. But I'm just going to show you the old cover. This is what it looks like, and nothing wrong with it, but I don't think it's anything like amazing. But the new cover is this one, and I just think it's so perfect. I just think it does the book so much more justice, and yeah, even though I already have a copy of Carry On, I just think that this cover is too good to pass up. So this edition of the book comes out on the 9th of May. The next few books I'm going to mention are books that are coming out in series that I'm actually not caught up on, but I'm still excited about these books coming out, and it makes me want to get caught up on the series, so I'm going to mention them anyway. The first one is Always and Forever Lara Jean, which is the third book in the like To All the Boys I've Loved Before series by Jenny Han. It was just a duology, but then she's added another book. I'm not sure if there's going to be more after this one, but it comes out on the 2nd of May, and it's a YA contemporary. The first one is about a girl in high school, and she has a box full of love letters that she's never sent, and then one day they get sent out. So it's just kind of the aftermath of that. It's a really cool contemporary story that I loved. I just haven't read the second book in that series yet, which is called P.S. I Still Love You, and then the third one is the one that's coming out. So I do need to get caught up on the series, but I really enjoyed the first one, so I'm glad that there's another one coming out. It's exciting. The next one coming out is a book in the Shadowhunter world, which I'm finally kind of getting caught up on. The only book in that series that I haven't read yet is Lady Midnight, which is the first book in the Dark Artifices series. So I haven't read that one yet, but the second book in that series is coming out, and it's called Lord of Shadows. So I'm excited to get into the Dark Artifices, and I'm glad that there's a second one coming out this month because it gets me motivated to get into Lady Midnight. The other book that I'm going to mention that I'm not caught up on the series, I haven't even started this series, but I really want to because I keep hearing amazing things about it, and it is A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. This is part of the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. There was A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and then this is the third book that's coming out. This one's coming out on the 2nd of May as well, and it is another YA fantasy series. I don't know a whole lot about it because, like I said, I haven't started it yet, but I've heard such amazing things that I really want to get into it, and it apparently has a really good like romance in it. So yeah. The next book coming out this month that I'm really excited about is When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but it's a YA contemporary. It's coming out on the 30th of May, and this one I've seen a lot of hype for on BookTube. Everyone's really excited about it. A few of my favorite booktubers have reviewed it already, and it sounds really good. So basically it's about a girl and a guy who their parents want to set them up on an arranged marriage. The girl is not keen on arranged marriages at all and sort of doesn't want anything to do with it, but the boy is keen on it, and that's something that he wants for himself in the future. They get sent on a like web developing summer camp or something together, and I think they're gonna try and like set them up. So it just sounds like it could be really cute and like maybe kind of funny as well, and I am intrigued that they go to a web developing camp. I think that's really interesting. So this book sounds really good, and I've heard really amazing things about it, and also the cover is really cute. I really like it a lot. The next book that's coming out this month that I'm looking forward to is called Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappa. This is a YA contemporary that's coming out on the 30th of May. I looked at this book initially because of the cover, because I think it's really cool and really amazing. I just think it looks beautiful. So that's what hooked me into it initially, and then I read the synopsis, and the synopsis to me sounds very similar to Radio Silence. Like it's just along kind of similar lines, and Radio Silence by Alice Oseman, that's one I read last month, and I really liked it. So that made me want to pick up this book because it sounded similar. So basically it's about a girl who writes a webcomic online that's like massively popular, and she meets a person from her like fandom. People start to find out her identity because it was something that she had like kept to herself, and when people start finding out, things kind of are getting crazy. So it sounds like a cool storyline. And the synopsis also mentioned that the book features like illustrations that are based on the webcomic, so I think that's always like a really cool element in books when you have like a bit of illustration and stuff going on as well. The next book that I'm looking forward to is a bit of a different one. It's not a YA. It's called The Fact of a Body by Alexandria Marzano-Lesnevich. And this one comes out on the 16th of May. It's a non-fiction, like true crime slash autobiography memoir kind of thing at the same time. The synopsis of this, it just sounded incredible and like nothing I've ever come across before, and like a combination of two things that I really, really like. The synopsis is kind of hard to grasp, so I'm probably not going to explain this very well what it's about, but she's a lawyer and she's working on a murder case, and looking deeper and deeper into it, she kind of starts to see parallels to her own life or something like that. So yeah, I don't really know how it's going to go down, but it sounds interesting that it's the combination of the like murder trial and also her own life. So it just intrigues me because I really, really love reading autobiographies and memoirs and that kind of thing. And then also I love true crime. Fun fact, I spend a lot of my spare time listening to true crime podcasts, so I think that that book sounds really incredible and just like nothing I've ever seen before. The final book that's coming out this month that I'm really, really looking forward to is a middle grade novel, and it just sounds really, really cool. It's a fantasy, I think, and it's called Orphan Island by Laurel Snyder. This one comes out on the 30th of May. Basically, from the synopsis, it sounds like it's about a bunch of orphans who live on an island, like kind of on their own, and then once a year a boat shows up carrying a child and drops that child off and picks up the eldest of the orphans and takes them away, and that person is never seen again. So every year it kind of just cycles through. They get a new young orphan, and then the eldest orphan has to leave on this boat. So that kind of gives me like Maze Runner vibes, just because of the whole like getting dumped in the maze and not knowing why, and then people leaving and you don't really know what's happened and stuff like that. So it sounds really, really cool. It's just a very cool concept, and I really like a middle grade fantasy every now and then. Those are all of the books that I'm looking forward to this month. If you're going to pick up any of these, let me know in the comments down below. If there are any others that you're looking forward to that I haven't mentioned, let me know that as well, and I will see you guys with another video in a couple days. Thanks for watching. Bye.